Hey everyone, welcome to part 15 of this trophy and achievement guide for Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. Thank you all for coming along on this journey with me, and a special thank you to all of the channel members who helped to support the channel. I really appreciate it. And now without further ado, let's finish up Disc 2 and dive right into Disc 3. Starting off from the save point, let's head over toward the right side of the hallway and go into a new area. Then we'll go forward a bit further and then go over toward the right. We now want to go up the stairs to the second floor. And when we see Raijin and Fujin, we don't even have to talk to them, we just want to go over toward the left side. And then we'll go forward a little bit further and go through the door on the right. And now we'll talk to the boy in this room. Please don't kill me, I'm not your enemy. Those guys stormed in during class and just took over the place. Most of the students were kicked out then. You guys came to fight the sorceress, right? Here, you can have this. Received card key 1. I know 2 other students are hiding somewhere. They also have card keys to open the restricted areas. Be careful, guys. Now let's go ahead and leave this room, and we're going to head back to where we saw Raijin and Fujin. And now we're going to go back downstairs. Let's make our way to the bottom of the screen, and then once we're back in this hallway, we want to once again go to the bottom of the screen. Now we'll go over toward the left side hallway, and we want to go forward and through the door on the left-hand side. This door was previously locked, but it becomes unlocked because we have that card key 1. Now we're going to run through the ice hockey rink. And on the left-hand side by the hockey goal, there's going to be a draw point that will give us some protect magic. So we'll draw that with one of our party members. And then we're going to leave the rink and go over toward the left-hand side. There's a door here that takes us into the locker room, and the locker room has another draw point. So let's go ahead and draw the life magic from here. And now we can leave the room and go back outside. Let's proceed over toward the right and then go through the door on the far right side of the screen. And then we're going to go across the hall into the door on the right. There's another student here. We'll talk to him, and he's going to give us the second card key that we need, card key 2. Let's leave the room and then go to the bottom of the screen where we can unlock another door, and that takes us back out into an earlier hallway. Now let's run all the way down the hallway until we get to the bottom of the screen. This takes us back to the hallway with a save point. Let's go across the hall over toward the right. Now let's go forward and over toward the right. Let's climb up all the stairs until we get to Raijin and Fujin. And then we're going to go up another flight of stairs to the 3rd floor. From here, we're going to go up the stairs and then through the door at the top. We'll proceed over toward the left-hand side until the screen changes, and then we want to go to this ledge, and then we can jump down to the lower level. Once you land, the screen will change, and we can go over toward the left-hand side to find a draw point that contains the shell magic. So let's go ahead and draw that with Selfie because she currently has that junctioned. And then we'll keep going toward the left to go into a different area. Once again, run to the bottom of the screen until it transitions to a different area. And then keep running down until you get into a different area again. One last time, let's run toward the bottom of the screen, and then we're going to be in the very large lobby area of the Galbadia Garden. There's a large monster in the middle of the room. We want to avoid him for now, run around the back side of him until you get to the save point. Then we're going to go into the menu, and we're going to make a few changes. Starting off, we're going to go to Junction, and then Renoa. We'll choose Ability, and we want to remove the Encounter None ability, and instead we're going to replace it with Mug. Also, our party's kind of hurt right now, so we're going to go over to Magic, Renoa, and we're going to use some cure spells to get our party back to good health. They don't have to be at full health, just make sure that they're not in critical health. And finally, we'll take a moment just to save the game. And now let's go talk to that big three-headed dog in the middle of the area. And that will commence a boss fight. This is Cerberus. He's a new Guardian Force, and if we can defeat him, we'll get to use him. Is this a GF? Let's just take it. Pretty confident. Let's see how you do. We're going to have Renoa use her mug command to try to steal an item off of Cerberus. If we can successfully steal from him, we're going to get a speed junction scroll, which is pretty good. And then while we wait for that to happen, we can use Squall and Selfie to draw some magic out of him. If Cerberus is below level 20, then he's going to have two spells for you to choose from. The Quake spell, which is pretty good if you junction it onto HP, Strength, or Magic. And he also has the Double spell, which is good to junction onto Hit. I'm just going to focus on drawing those double spells out of him, and eventually Renoa successfully mugs that Speed Junction scroll. Thanks to our party's auto haste ability, we're able to get a lot of turns in before Cerberus has a chance to really do anything. But eventually what he's going to do is he's going to cast triple onto himself. And that's when things can get a little bit scary for us, because he's now able to cast 3 spells at the same time, and that means he can do quite a bit of damage. Generally, I take this as the point where we want to shift our focus from just drawing magic out of him to actually attacking. We're just going to focus on using physical attacks to hit him again and again and again. Because of our very good speed, thanks to our auto haste ability, we can get in way more attacks than he can. Really, he should only attack you 1, maybe 2 times throughout this fight if you just turn and start focusing on attacking. His physical attacks can do a bit of damage. I'm more worried about his magic attack though. If your average party level is right around 10, then he should have about 8,000 HP, and as you can tell with how much damage Squall's doing every attack, we can take a significant chunk of his health away every time we attack. Once you get rid of enough of his health, then he'll say, "Not bad, mortals," and the fight will be over. As with every boss fight, we don't get any experience, but we do get a new triple triad card, the Cerberus card, for winning. You also get 30 AP for winning, which might be enough for a Guardian Force to learn a new ability. But more importantly, you get the Cerberus Trophy or achievement, as well as a new Guardian Force that we can junction onto ourselves. I'm going to keep the name as the default Cerberus, and we'll keep going. First things first, let's open up our menu, and then we're going to go to Junction and choose Renoa. Let's go into the Junction Guardian Force menu. We're going to give her Cerberus, but take away Tonberry. We don't need to change any of Renoa's abilities. We want her to keep the Mug and Auto Haste abilities. Now let's go on over to Squall, and we're going to change his Guardian Forces a little bit. Namely, we want to give him the Tonberry Guardian Force we took off of Renoa a moment ago. Now let's look at his abilities. We want to keep Auto Haste, but we want to get rid of the item command, and instead we're going to replace it with Level Up. That's going to be a very big help to us in just a moment. Finally, let's take a moment to go into the GF command, and then we're going to make sure all of our Guardian Forces are learning the right things. Quetzalcoatl is going to start learning Elemental Attack Junction. Most of our other Guardian Forces are already learning what we want them to learn, so there's no need to make any changes, but we'll keep scrolling through until we get to Cerberus. At that point, we want to change his Guardian Force HP plus 10% ability over to the Alert ability, which prevents us from getting back attacks, and that's a very good ability. So we'll set Alert to learn, and then we're going to keep on going from here. We'll back out of the menu all the way, and then we want to go over to the nearby save point over in the bottom right corner. And after the game is saved, we're going to farm one particular enemy around here to get a very good item. There's going to be the haste draw point right where Cerberus was, so feel free to draw some free haste if you want to. And then we're going to run around the same area for just a little bit. There are 2 monsters that can appear here. A Death Claw that we don't want to fight, we can just run away from that one. But we do want to see the Tri-Face enemy. Starting off, we're going to have Squall attack the enemy. He's got sleep junctioned onto his status attack, so there's a good chance that we can put him to sleep. At that point, we're going to have him use the Level Up command to increase the Tri-Face's level. We're going to do it one time, and then we're going to do it one more time, and that should get him up above level 30. When you try to mug a Tri-Face at low levels, you might get one curse spike out of him. However, if he's over level 30, you can get 6 or 8 curse spikes if you successfully mug him. Now, I would recommend that when you have Renoa use mug, have it so that Squall is immediately ready to attack right after that. That way, Renoa will wake him up with a mug, but Squall can put him immediately back to sleep, and you don't run the risk of getting hit by his very strong attacks. Remember, our average level is about 10, and his is now well over 30, which means he could really mess us up if he was awake, and he has some pretty nasty status effects as well. Well, you see that I did in fact get 6 curse spikes when I successfully mugged him, and now what we can do is to continue to have Squall attack, put him to sleep, and then we want to have Selphie use the card command in order to turn him into a card. We definitely do not want to get all the experience for killing something so high of a level above our own that would really work against us, but using the card command prevents us from getting that experience. Also, you may have noticed that instead of getting a Tri-Face card, I got an Ultima Weapon card. There's only a 6.3% chance that actually happened, so it was pretty rare. Keep going around the area and mugging those leveled up Tri-Faces until you get to over 30 of those curse spikes. One curse spike can be used to teach Quistis the blue magic level ? Death. We need 30 of them to turn into magics. And you also need 2 curse spikes for Selphie's ultimate weapon. These curse spikes can also be used for refining into many different things that are very powerful. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time doing that yet because we don't have the Guardian Force required to actually do those modifications, but we're going to talk about curse spikes a little bit later on in a different part of the game. But for right now, all we need is those 30 curse spikes, and when we have those, we can use Status Magic Refine, and we can turn 1 curse spike into 10 pain magics, which means 10 curse spikes will turn into 100 pains. We're going to give 100 pains to Squall, 100 to Renoa, and 100 to Selphie. The pain magic is very good when you junction it to the magic stat, so let's go over to junction. We're going to choose Renoa, and then we're going to choose to junction magic. We'll go down to Kiraga. Her current value is 35. When we replace Kiraga with pain, that 35 jumps up to a score of 75, so it adds 40 points to the magic stat, and that's really nice for us. Let's do the same for Squall. His magic stat is 30, and that's going to jump up to 70. And then we're going to go over to Selphie, and we'll see that her magic stat is also currently 30, and that's going to jump up to 70 as well. You might be wondering why we even bother upgrading our magic stat because we're not using magic offensively in battle, and that's because a higher magic stat will actually allow you to draw magic in greater numbers out of enemies. It doesn't affect the world map draw points and the amount that you get when you draw from those, but it does affect the ability for you to draw magic from enemies as well as the number. So having a higher magic stat can make the difference between drawing 4 or 5 magics at a time or drawing 9 at a time, and you'll see that that is actually going to have a big impact going forward. And in case you were wondering, it only took about 15 or so minutes to get to all of those curse spikes. You can also card mod the Tri-Face cards if you've won some of those in the triple triad matches you've played. That can help speed things up too. We'll save the game one more time, and then we want to go over toward the left side, and we'll go out the bottom left corner of the screen. This is going to take us into a hallway. We'll run down the hallway and then through the door on the left side. Now let's talk to the student in this room. She's going to give us the last card key, which will open the lock on the elevator. That elevator will allow us to go up to where the sorceress is waiting for us, and we can finally confront her for the final battle of Disc 2. We'll go back out into the hallway and then run away from the screen so that we can go into the hallway that we just came from, and now we want to go out the top left corner of the screen. Once we run through this mini hallway, we want to stick over toward the right hand side, and then we'll go up the stairs. Let's now go out the left side of the screen, and that will take us to the room where the elevator door is. We'll go forward and we can unlock it with our card key 3, and then we're going to take this upstairs. Seifer and Sorceress Edea are right in front of us, but we can actually run around the corner and use the save point before we fight them. Oh, you guys shouldn't have. I was gonna come visit you at my old home. Shut up. Did you guys come to fight Matron after all that she's done for us? Renoa, what are you doing here? You're gonna fight me too? Come on, remember a year ago we... Stop it! Selfie, right? I wish we had time to get to know each other. Nah, you're not my type. It's too late, Seifer. You can't mess with our minds. To us, you're just another enemy, like one of those monsters. You're comparing me to one of them? I ain't no monster. I'm the Sorceress's Knight. And look at you, attacking like a swarm. You guys are the monsters. And now we get a pathetically easy fight against Seifer. Let's go after them, monsters! You definitely want to mug Seifer, because if you successfully mug him, you'll get 8 Mega Phoenixes. A Mega Phoenix is basically a normal Phoenix down on steroids because it revives all party members at once. Because Seifer does very little damage to us when he attacks, thanks to not only our high HP amount, but also our good vitality, we can spend some time drawing magic out of him if we want to. He's got the Dispel magic, which can be good in some situations, not really that great for junctioning onto anything, but we can also spend some time drawing the Haste magic out of him. So if you want to spend some time drawing some magics, because of our new amped up magic stat, we should be drawing 9 spells out of him every time we go to draw. Once you've had your fill of drawing magic out of him, then you want to turn toward attacking him with normal physical attacks. Seifer's only got 4,000 HP if you're right around level 10, so that means he only has half the HP that Cerberus had, and we can take away about half of his health with only one of Squall's attacks. Is that all you got? I can't be beaten. Well, ironically, we can beat him. One more attack from Renoa and it's over. This can't be! Why? As always, a boss fight means we don't earn any experience, but we do earn 20 AP from this fight, and that's good because it was enough to teach Tonberry the familiar ability, which is very good. Worthless child! The auditorium is right below. Well, before we go over there, we can quickly run over to the save point and save the game. And then after that, we want to go back into the elevator to go down a floor. Let's proceed toward the bottom of the screen and then go all the way toward the right to get into a different area. We need to work our way around this big circular area. We'll just go toward the leftmost path, and then we're going to loop around until we get to the far right side of the screen. Again, there's a save point there, but we don't need it. We're just going to go into the doorway on our right. And we'll go forward for a scene. What's going on? So the time has come. You're the legendary seed destined to face me? What is she talking about? I must say that I am impressed. An impressive nuisance. Your life ends here, seed. Worthless fool. You're not our matron. All seeds must perish! And now we have a two-part boss fight. The first part is against a weakened Seifer. At this point, he only has 3,000 health as compared to the 4,000 from a moment ago. I'm the sorceress's knight. You'll never get past me. Yet again, Seifer can't do a whole lot to us, so we're just going to spend time trying to mug him. We have a different option for an item this time around. It's not going to be 8 Mega Phoenixes. There's a 90% chance that he's going to drop an item called Hero, which when used, it makes one character invincible, or there's about a 10% chance that he's going to drop something called a Holy War, which will make all 3 of your party members invincible. I can't afford to lose. Neither of those items are super critical, so it doesn't really matter if you don't get the mug to work. In fact, we could get 10 of those Holy Wars if we card mod the Gilgamesh card that we won from Quistis. But nevertheless, it is worth trying to mug something out of him, and because he's not doing really any damage to us in a meaningful way, we've got all the time in the world to try to mug it out of him, and eventually he's going to go down. I'm disgraced. Once Seifer goes down, Edea joins the fight. Defeated. Useless fool. Enough play. Seeds must die. Unlike Seifer, Edea actually is a bit of a threat. She can use Maelstrom to reduce everyone's HP by half. Luckily though, it can't kill us directly. The first thing you should do is to draw the Alexander Guardian Force out of her. That's going to give us the Alexander Trophy or achievement. If you have sleep set up as a status junction, you're able to put her to sleep. That gives you an opportunity to try to mug an item out of her. If you're successful at mugging, you're going to get an item called Royal Crown, which you can use to teach a Guardian Force the Magic plus 60% ability. However, if you do that, you won't get the other item that she normally drops, which is the Force Armlet, that can teach a Guardian Force the Spirit plus 40% ability. Either one of those is fine, it doesn't really matter, and it's not worth resetting the game if you don't get that Royal Crown to be mugged out of her. Just go ahead and keep fighting. The fight doesn't last for too long. At this level, she only has 5,000 health, so only a few attacks is enough to take her down. After the fight, I got that Force Armlet because I didn't get the mug to work, but I did, however, get 50 AP, which is really nice to teach a lot of Guardian Forces certain abilities that they've been learning for quite some time. We then get to name our new Guardian Force Alexander, so choose whatever you want to, and then we'll finish up. What happened? My body. Renoa. Renoa. Seifer. Renoa, are you all right? Squall, Quistis, Selfie. Irvine, Zell. You've all grown so much and become so strong. I have waited for this day to come and also feared this day would come. Is today a joyous day or an odious day? Where is alone? Have I protected alone? I don't understand. Squall! It's Renoa! Renoa? What's wrong with Renoa? And that brings us to the end of Disc 2 or Act 2. But that's a pretty short episode, so I'm going to keep right on rolling straight into Disc 3 or Act 3 of the game. You are prompted to save the game at this point, so go ahead and save if you want to, and then we'll keep right on going. Is it over? What happened? Renoa. What happened to Renoa? Squall, can you hear me? Head to Edea's house at once. The sorceress Edea, matron, is back at the orphanage. Alright, well that means it's time to return to the 3rd floor bridge. We can go ahead and leave Dr. Katawaki's office in the infirmary, and we'll be back out into the main circular hallway. We'll run around toward the bottom right side of the screen, and then go up the stairs to use the elevator. Let's go ahead and choose the 3rd floor option to get up to the bridge. Let's go straight ahead to go into Headmaster Sid's former office, and then we can use the elevator to get up to the top. Now we'll talk to Nita so that we can control the mobile Balam garden. We have to make a party of 3. I'm going to take Quistis as well as Selfie, but before we go anywhere, we're going to use Junction Exchange to give Quistis what Renoa currently has equipped. And then after that, we can exit out. We need to make a very quick detour by going directly toward the north, and we're going to go back to the town of Timber. So go straight ahead toward the north until you're in the water, and then you want to go through this small channel, and that will take you basically straight north. Then just keep going until you reach the northwestern continent. You'll see a shoreline here that we can go up and onto, and then we want to go a little bit over toward the right hand side, and that's exactly where Timber is going to be. Just follow the train tracks to make it very easy. We'll park our garden right outside of Timber and then run inside. Once we get inside of Timber, on the left side is going to be a guard that we can challenge to a game of Triple Triad, and we want to go ahead and accept his rules. He's not difficult and he doesn't have a lot of good cards, but what we needed to do is to get a new rule that gets applied to us. So now what we're going to do is to head back inside the mobile garden, and then we're going to proceed back toward the south. If you'll remember where the lighthouse is that we've gone past a couple times, it's on the far western point of that crescent-shaped continent in the lower portion of the map. We basically just have to head straight south to go back to where we came from a few moments ago. We'll now go up onto shore, and a little bit toward our right is going to be a house by the lighthouse. So we're going to go ahead and park our garden right outside here, and then we can run on inside. Let's run straight ahead past Zell and Irvine and go in the house. When you go in the house, immediately on the right hand side is going to be another Timber Maniacs magazine lying on the ground, so make sure you read that. And then go forward for a scene with Sid. Many thanks for your hard work. Are you angry with me? I don't blame you. All I do is talk big, but in times of trouble, I run away. I was in a no-win situation. Your defeat would be the end of you. Your victory would mean losing my wife. I just couldn't bear to face either outcome. I don't care about myself, but please forgive Edea. And we'll follow him off the right side of the screen. Go forward for another scene. My children, please forgive me. I raised you as my own, yet still We feel the same way. We fought, knowing very well you were our matron. That was the only choice we had left. Matron! You are seeds. You cannot back out of battle, I know. You were magnificent. However, it is not over yet. At any time I may... And we'll talk to her again. I have been possessed all this time. I was at the mercy of Sorceress Artemisia. Artemisia is a sorceress from the future, a sorceress many generations ahead of our time. Artemisia's objective is to find Alone. She is after Alone's mysterious power. I know Alone very well. Artemisia is a very fearful sorceress. Her heart is filled with anger and hate. There was no way I was going to let Artemisia get a hold of Alone. The only thing I could do was surrender my soul to Artemisia and lose control of my mind. That was the only way I could save Alone. And the end result? Well, you all know. The sorceress that appeared in Galbadia was in fact Artemisia, inside my shell. Artemisia has yet to achieve her goal. I believe she may use my body again to carry out her plans. I plan to make a stand this time, but if that does not work, I may have to face you in battle once again. I ask for your support, young seeds. Have you all heard of Sorceress Edea before? She was the ruler of Estar during the Sorceress War. There's been no news about her since. The Galbadians must have thought I was the sorceress who received Sorceress Edea's powers. However, that is not the case. I received the powers of the previous sorceress at the age of 5. So, what does that mean? I believe Sorceress Edea is still alive, and that Artemisia released my body in order to use the body of Sorceress Edea. Sorceress Edea is the type who will not hesitate to use her powers for her own selfish desires. Should Sorceress Artemisia from the future bequeath her anger and hatred into Edea, their power would be unimaginable. Now let's try to leave the area. Squall, let's hear what else Matron has to say. I've heard enough. I understand that listening to what Matron has to say is important, but Renoa... Matron, do you know what's wrong with Renoa? Renoa is the girl in light blue? I remember vaguely. What happened to her? She was with us when we fought you, after the battle. Her body was cold. She didn't move. Did Renoa die? No. Forgive me, Squall. I don't think I can be of any help. It's all right. Squall, I understand how you feel, but you are in a position of leadership. The other students at Garden have a right to know about the outcome of the battle and what's to come. Take whatever information you can get here back to Garden. Remember, it wasn't just Renoa. Everyone fought. I understand, but... That isn't something a leader should say. Ultimisia's objective is to find Alone. First time we met was the day I became a seed. We met again in Timber. Alone's mysterious power, sending one's consciousness back into the past. So Ultimisia wants to use Alone's power, right? We had a lot of arguments at first, but in time, things began to change. I get it. Ultimisia wants to send her consciousness from this period further into the past. What's she going to do in the past? You were looking at me. You smiled when our eyes met. Time compression. Time compression? It made me feel calm, tranquil. It's time magic. Past, present, and future get compressed. What's going to happen to the world? Why do something like that? Renoa, give me another chance. I can't even imagine a world where time is compressed. Yo, Squall! You're not even listening! So basically, all we have to do is prevent Ultimisia from getting a hold of Alone. Yes, but... We're going back to Garden. We have to let everyone know. Hey, we're worried about Renoa too, you know? Then why don't you... Forget it. That about covers the update. Our task at hand is to find Alone, then we'll deal with Ultimisia. I believe that Alone is on the White Seed ship. We're setting out to look for it. I wonder where it could be. We'll gather information for a while. Be prepared for battle at any time. And Sorceress Edea is back at our home. She's probably not our enemy anymore. Let's just leave her alone. Well, we're not actually going to leave her alone. What we're going to do is to talk to Nita, and we're going to say that we're ready to go. We'll make a squad of 3. Let's go ahead and take Quistis and Selfie once again. Let's park our garden right here and then run close to Edea's house, but not actually go inside just yet. We'll open up the menu and then we want to save the game right here. This is another time where we're going to have to trick the RNG of the game in order to get rid of the random rule before we challenge Edea to a game of Triple Triad. Once you save the game, you want to exit the game using the exit option, and then you can reload the game to go right back into it. Then run forward and go into Edea's house. We'll keep going forward into the house, and then we want to go over toward the right side. Edea is still down on the beach. Because we picked up the Triple Triad rule from Timber a moment ago, we can now challenge Edea to 4 matches in a row, but we're going to say no thank you every time. So that's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. And here's 4. Now we'll challenge her again, but this time we're going to initially agree by saying yes please. And then we're going to go ahead and quit. And if we do that, then the random rule is abolished from the region, and that makes it a lot easier to beat Edea, but it's still not a walk in the park. I would recommend heading all the way back out to the world map and then saving the game once again. She still has a tough rule called plus same, and that can be a little bit tricky, but at least we got rid of that random rule, which just assigns 5 cards out of your entire deck to play with. And if you've got a lot of low level cards, it kind of means that you're going to be stuck with a very difficult game ahead of you. But now that we got rid of random, we can then go back and challenge her to a game, and we actually stand a pretty good shot at winning this time. Let's go over and we'll play a game against Edea, and we do have the opportunity to get the Edea card from her, which is pretty good. We're going to choose our 5 best cards: Seifer, Renoa, Zell, Irvine, and Quistis. I'll start off by explaining the same rule. You'll see that the Edea card has an A on the right hand side, and we can go ahead and play the Irvine card in the lower right hand corner. Edea played the Mesmerize card, which took control of Irvine, but that's okay, we'll take it back. You'll notice that the right side of the Edea card has an A, and the left side of the Irvine card is also an A. And we have a card that matches both of those values. That's the Renoa card. If you play a card that touches at least 2 other cards and the values of those sides are the same, then you're able to trigger the same rule and flip the cards to your side. Now, Edea took over the Renoa card using a Turtipod, but we can flip that Turtipod over to our side by using the Seifer card. She plays a T-Rexar in the upper right hand corner, and now we have an opportunity to use the plus rule to our advantage. Keep in mind that the letter A means 10 in this game, so if we put the Zell card right on top of the Turtipod, we have an A meaning 10 plus a 2 from the Turtipod equaling 12. We also have a 5 on the right side of Zell and a 7 on the left side of the T-Rexar. 5 plus 7 also equals 12. So if we put the Zell card here, both of those numbers on those sides add up to the same value, and that triggers the plus rule, which will flip over the cards that it touches. When you play against Edea, you've got to be pretty strategic, so take your time and really analyze the different options that you have available to you. But in the end, you should be able to get the Edea card. The Edea card is very good for triple triad matches, but you could also card mod it into 3 of those Royal Crowns, which teaches a Guardian Force the Magic plus 60% ability. So that's also a good option if you want to go that route. Also, if you happen to miss the Seifer card from playing Sid a long time ago, you can challenge him on the beach as well to get the Seifer card. We're now back out on the world map, and we want to change some things up a bit. Starting off, we're going to go to Junction, and we're going to give Selphie the Alexander Guardian Force that we got from Edea a little bit ago. This will give her the opportunity to have a 3rd character ability slot, so we'll give her Magic plus 40%. Some of our Guardian Forces recently learned new abilities, so let's go ahead and check on them in the GF command. Let's start by going over to Ifrit, who recently learned an ability, but he doesn't have anything else that we really need to learn from him, so we're pretty much done. We can just let that play out. The same goes for Siren. There's nothing more we need to learn with her. For Brothers, we want to learn HP plus 80%. It takes a long time to learn this one, so let's get started on it right away because it's very important. Diablos is also running out of good abilities to learn, but we're going to start teaching him HP plus 20%. The next 4 Guardian Forces are fine. That's Carbuncle, Leviathan, Pandemona, and Cerberus, but when we get to our newest Guardian Force, Alexander, we want to teach it a specific ability, and that's going to be Revive. As the name suggests, that ability allows you to revive a knocked out party member in battle. And finally, we want Tonberry to be learning Call Shop. Well, I think that's enough menuing for right now, so let's go ahead and just save the game, and then we'll continue on with the story. Let's go ahead and get back into the Mobile Balam Garden, and then we'll hit triangle to go back into the cockpit. We then want to use the elevator to go down. Let's keep going forward so that we can use the elevator to go down to the 1st floor. And now we need to make our way over to the infirmary. Let's head down the stairs and over toward the left. The infirmary is the first path on the left, so let's take that, and then we're going to be in Dr. Katawaki's office. And we can find Renoa in the room over on the left side. Renoa, you feel so cold. Are you going to be like this forever? Isn't there anything I can do? You were so full of life. Now you don't even make a sound. I want to hear your voice. This is like talking to a wall. Renoa, call my name. Time for another Laguna dream sequence. Squall is automatically linked to Laguna, and we can take another party member like Selfie and link it over to Kyros. Interestingly, if you have not read the Timber Maniacs magazine in Shumi Village at this point, you would have Ward available to you as well, but we don't want that. We only want 2 party members. Don't worry about the Junction exchange. We'll do that in a little bit. Why the heck do I have to do this? 'Cause we have no money. Alright, I'm sorry. Yeah, so it's kind of my fault that we stayed at the hotel so often. But heck, I'm not cut out to be an actor. So you say, but we know you're really quite excited. Okay everyone, take your positions. Man, I can't believe this director. Making a movie with me, an amateur? The heck am I supposed to do? Alright. So we were lucky I got the job. As long as we make some money, right? Are you serious? What kind of costume is this? No complaining. Let's go. Hey, look at you, not bad. This is your co-star, playing the part of the sorceress. Hi, nice to meet you. All we need now is someone to play the dragon. Oh, perfect. Hey, you back there. Yes? I'm kinda in a squeeze here. The guy playing the dragon is sick. Do you think you could put on the dragon costume and kinda just walk down here? I'll pay ya. I guess so. Okay, just be on standby over there. Okay, people, here we go. Scene 12, Death of the Sorceress. Ready? Action! Oh, Sir Knight, save me from the wicked dragon! Oh, okay, I'll save you from the dragon. Darn it, I'm getting all nervous here. And what's with this gunblade? Haven't used one of these since training. Kinda like this? Hey, not bad. I'll just put in some voiceovers. Okay, bring on the dragon. Hey, come on guys, the dragon. All right, here we go. Wow, just like the real thing. Excellent work, Kyros. Wait a minute, was the costume that big? Whoa, Kyros is taking this seriously. Man, looks like the real thing. Ah! Geez, take it easy, Kyros. What the? Is this thing real? What? No wonder. What am I doing? I'm getting out of here. Well, Sir Knight, it's all yours. Sir Knight, I must bid you farewell. Hey, don't just leave me here. It's not gonna let me go. The gunblade. This starts a mini game that some people find to be difficult. The game wants you to block attacks with square and to attack with the triangle button. I prefer just to keep hitting triangle and watch his reaction as we go. So what you want to do is to keep spamming that triangle button to attack. If you see the enemy recover slowly, that means that you should attack again. However, if the enemy recovers very quickly, then you should try to block using the square button. A successfully timed block will negate all damage, but really you should just be focusing on doing as many attacks as possible whenever he does a slow recovery. Just keep in mind that the fast recovery means to block, the slow recovery means to attack, and it shouldn't take you very long to get through this fight. Now's my chance, run! Darn, stupid dragon, where the heck is Kyros? Laguna, did you call me? Yeah. Wait long enough? Here. Alright, time to kick some dragon butt. But we're actually gonna say, hold on a sec. Now we have the opportunity to go over to a save point before the battle, and we want to now set up our junctions appropriately. Laguna is already set up, but we want to junction every remaining Guardian force onto Kyros. And then we want to set up the magic as auto and attack. The only command ability he needs is card, and for the personal abilities we're going to give him auto haste, vitality plus 60%, and spirit plus 20%. Now after that, let's save the game, and we're going to then proceed over toward the right hand side so that we can get into a battle with that ruby dragon. If you have 3 party members, the ruby dragon knows some nasty attacks, but if you only have 2 party members, then it won't use those, and that's a big advantage for us. At low levels like this, the ruby dragon only has about 6,000 HP, so keep that in mind. We definitely don't want to kill this thing. All we're going to do is have Laguna do his normal attack, and then we're going to have Kyros try to card him every turn. Pay attention to how much damage Laguna is doing in battle. If he's doing about 600 damage and the enemy's got about 6,000 HP, it means that you only want to attack maybe about 6 times with Laguna before you just focus on only having Kyros use the card command. You definitely don't want to kill it and get way more experience than you need. But if you're lucky, the card command will work a little bit earlier and you'll be able to finish the battle without much of a problem. Also, having auto haste active for this battle makes it very nice to do this quickly without having to worry about that ruby dragon getting lots of turns in to attack you. Because we carded the enemy, we don't get any experience, but we did pick up an Inferno Fang, which can teach Quistis the blue magic fire breath. We also got 14 AP. How many are there? They just keep coming. We're out of here. What is that? I can't disconnect. What is this connect thing? Is it you, Squall? Yeah, Connect is just what I call it. It's when I use my special power. Oh, I know, I must be asleep. That's why I can't control it. I'm sorry, Squall. Just let me use your spirit for a little while longer. Let me go back. She ain't here either. If I may ask, what happened to this Alone? She was kidnapped by Estar soldiers. I've been traveling, trying all I can to get inside Estar, but... They were looking for a successor to the Estar sorceress Adel? Yeah, exactly it. Is she your daughter? No, but she's just so cute. Oh, I wish I could hear her voice. I want to hear Renoa's voice. Is something the matter? No, just the fairies. I don't care if it's in the past or what. I want to hear Renoa. I want to see Renoa. That way, there may be a chance to save her. You can't change the past. I just found that out. When I was kidnapped, Uncle Laguna went on a journey to find me. But because he did, Uncle Laguna wasn't able to be by Rain's side when she died. Rain wanted to show Laguna her newborn baby. Rain kept calling out for Laguna, so no matter what, I wanted Laguna to stay in the village. But it didn't work. I can no longer make it back to that moment. And also, I can only send you inside someone I've met before. I'm sorry, Squall. I'm about to disconnect. I'll try again to speak to you this way. Sis, Alone. I want to hear Renoa's voice. I can see you if we go back in time, maybe even change things. Alone. Alone, can you hear me? Send me back to the moment Renoa went into a coma. Alone, you won't answer me? I know she's on the White Seed ship. White Seed. Edea Seed. Edea Seed? Maybe Edea would know the whereabouts of the ship. Then I can see Alone. Then maybe I can go back. And once again, we're going to make the journey from the infirmary all the way back up to the 3rd floor bridge. And then we'll talk to Nita so that we can control our mobile Balam garden. We need to make a party of 3, but Renoa is not available. I'm taking Quistis and Selfie with me. Now we can immediately park the mobile Balam garden, and we can get out and go into Edea's house. We'll make our way back into the house and then toward the beach area so that we can go and have a conversation with Edea. Is there anything at all I can help you with? The White Seed ship, the one Alone's on. Those children are... They are very cautious. They would never remain in one place for long. I see. Oh yes, however, those children seem to have taken a liking to Centra's landscape. Therefore, they may have stationed their ship by an inlet somewhere on the Centra continent. And Squall, please take with you this letter that I wrote. With this, they shall welcome you. Well, we're all done here. Let's go ahead and leave and go back out to the main world map. and then we can hop inside our mobile Balam garden. The white seed ship is actually very close by. If we look at the map, it's just a little bit toward the northeast of where we are on this little C-shaped inlet. Let's go over toward the northeast through this nearby forest, and then we'll land in the water. We'll hit some ground right in front of us, and then we just have to hug the wall on our left-hand side. That's going to take us right where we need to go. We'll turn left and go through this little inlet, stick toward the left-hand side, keep going around, and then you'll see the white seed ship right here. We meet again. My name is Squall. We're seeds from Balam Garden. I'd like to speak to your leader. I'm in charge. State your business. Depending on what you say, we may ask you to leave immediately. I want to see alone. We pose no threat. Edea told us that you would be here. Edea? How? Edea is no longer under Sorceress Artemisia's control. She is now our ally. So there's no reason for you to hide Alone's whereabouts from us. We want to take Alone back to protect her from Artemisia. Thank you for coming, but we have no reason to believe you. Please leave. Well, you can't shake us that easily. Let's follow them over toward the right-hand side. Wow! Long time no see, sir! Whoa, look who's here! Squall, how's it going? Can't believe you're here. Everybody doing good, sir? After you guys left, the Galbadian buttheads came after us, and we barely escaped to this boat. I was sure we were goners, sir. Zone went nuts and was thinking about swimming across the sea to escape. Hey, it was a plan. All you were doing was whining like a big baby. We're gonna die, we're gonna die. And look who jumped in first, you numbnuts. I don't see how these wackos keep surviving. So, how's Renoa? Where is she? Renoa fought with us against Edea. For some reason, she went unconscious after the fight. She's resting in the garden now. I don't know what happened. We couldn't protect her. I'm sorry. You son of a gun! What did I say? What did I say, huh? I told you to take care of her, that nothing better happened to her, scumbag, you pathetic lying scumbag! Zone, come on. Easy, sir, easy. She's not dead, they just don't know what's wrong with her, that's all. Ain't that right, sir? Squall would never give up on her. Am I right, sir? We came here to get Alone because there's a new evil force after her. If we can get Alone and Renoa together, maybe we can get Renoa back. Really? See, Zone? I told you, sir. Renoa's gonna be fine. She promised she would come back. We all have to free Timber together. Don't worry, sir. All right, but I'm going to say it one more time. If something happens to Renoa again, I swear... Let's follow Zone up into the next area. On the floor to the left is the last issue of the Timber Maniacs magazine, and once we finish reading it, we're going to get the Timber Maniacs trophy or achievement. Now we'll talk to Zone 3 times. It's kind of cool to watch the sea. You hardly ever get bored of it. I learned how to pilot the ship, a little. It's tough. With trains, you just have to worry about staying on the track. But with ships, oh man, you gotta worry about the entire sea. Hey! That's the girl next door. How'd you get it? We actually picked it up from the Timber Maniacs building when we were there in Timber a long time ago. We definitely don't need the money, so instead we're going to choose to give it to him for free, and we're going to get a much better prize because of that. Serious? Oh man, thanks, you're awesome! Here, I want you to have this. We get a rename card for renaming one of our guardian forces, but more importantly, we get the Shiva triple triad card. Once you're done here, let's head back down the stairs to go to the previous area, and we're going to save the game at the nearby save point. And this is where we're going to end part 15. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy these videos, please be sure to hit that like button and also comment down below. Those little things really help me out. And also consider subscribing to be a member of our amazing community. In the next episode, we're going to make some good progress into Disc 3, so I hope you'll join me for that. I'll see you soon in part 16. Until then, thanks for watching and have a good day.